Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. This is our first, my first keynote announcement, and I'm very happy to say that my computer, the hard drive, is been replaced. It is up and working, and I have the program that I normally use to do screencasts, and it's working now. So unfortunately, it hasn't been working for the first few weeks of the course, but it's up and running. And I put this cartoon up there just as a representation of my frustration. Anyways, I want to just do a very quick announcement. Hopefully, this will be about 5 minutes long. I'm going to talk about a couple of things, where we are in the course, where we're going in the course, given that we're about halfway through. And the first thing that I want to make note of is the amazing work that's been done so far. Really impressed by the degree of discussion that's been going on, the group facilitations, the artifacts that have come out of the group facilitations. There's a lot of work that you've been doing, so you can definitely pat yourself on the back for that. Going into the home stretch, there's a few things to keep in mind. Essentially, we have two modules left. We're going into module 5, and this will be focused on professional ethics. The cases for this module will be either the DeLuca case or the Odette case. Both of these cases involve inappropriate sexual relations with students, so it's definitely getting spicy. The facilitation will be done by Group 3. Next week, we'll be going into Module 6 and looking at a delicate balance, and this is really focused on things such as being a teacher 24/7 and the freedom of speech that teachers have. The case we'll be looking at for this topic will be the Chamberlain versus Surrey District School Board, which is a case involving a teacher who tried to bring in some books that demonstrated same-sex families and different family types. The books were censored by the school board, and that eventually went to the Supreme Court. There's a big case around that, so I look forward to the discussion about that. That will be facilitated by Group 4. Now, the other thing that I want to make note of is the week after the course officially finishes on June 4th or June 10th, there's another week. Obviously, time goes on. June 11th to June 17th, and there's no topic, there's no cases, there's no actual online discussions, there's no readings, but your critical incident reports are due on the Friday of that week. Now, essentially, the course ends on June 10th, but I was allowed to give you an extra week to work on those critical incident reports, which I will talk about in a minute. Now, in terms of Module 5, we're looking at professional ethics. Thought this cartoon was appropriate. And basically, it sums it up. This is a very complex world that teachers are teaching in, and there are some very complex ethical challenges that you're going to be faced with. So in order to tackle these challenges, we're going to be looking at some documents that are important for teachers to understand. And I'm going to be posing some interesting and challenging discussion questions for you, as well as the group facilitation. We'll probably be doing that as well. The first question that I'd like you to think about is whether, as a teacher, you should have a Facebook account. And this will be something that we talk about when we're looking at the Ontario College of Teachers Professional Advisory on social media, which I think should generate significant discussion for this week. Now, in terms of the to-dos for the module, there's 3 readings that we have. One is the Ontario College of Teachers Ethical Standards. You should be familiar with these. It's not a long reading, and I'm not necessarily requiring any sort of discussion around the standards that are put into place. I would be interested in getting your thoughts on how practical you think they are. The other reading is the Robbins Report, which highlights and identifies some ethical duties and responsibilities that teachers have relating to their professional practice. And then the last one, as previously mentioned, is the Ontario College of Teachers Professional Advisory on Social Media. I put this as being important because I think it's really a salient issue, given some of the uses and challenges that people experience when dealing with social media. There have been several teachers who have been fired, not in Canada, but in the United States, because of things they did on Facebook. And so this is an area of particular interest to me because it talks about the tension between teachers' private lives and their professional lives. We're also going to be participating in Group 3's case study facilitation of either the DeLuca or the Odette case, as previously mentioned. And I would recommend that you're working on your critical incident reports, given that they will be due in a couple of weeks. Speaking of those, they are due on June 15th. That's the Friday of the week after the course finishes. I'm going to ask that you create your articles or your reports as a Google document. The reason for this is not because I love Google, which I do, but that's not the reason. The reason for this is that when you submit it as a Google document, I will be able to add comments to your document and send them back to you right away. So you will be able to see the moment that I've added comments and marked your assignment, and then you will be able to access your assignment from Google Documents and see the comments that I've put there. I would also ask that you submit your report through the critical incident report submission subconference that I have put in each of the section content areas. And when you're putting your submission in, you're going to link your note, link your Google document as a note, set the note to private with me as a co-author. Now I'm just going to take you through that process quickly, just so you get a sense of what that looks like. So for example, when you go to Google, you can sign in. You do need a Google account for this. I'm assuming that most people have Google accounts already because of the amount of activity that has occurred on the Google Documents for the readings. If you don't have a Google account, you can sign up for one. If you really don't like Google and you're anti-Google, then you can just submit it as an attachment. It's not the end of the world. We can go from there. Once you do sign into Google, there's a thing called Google Drive. You can click on that. This is essentially Google Documents. What I'm going to ask you to do is to click Create Document. Now, you can write your document in a Word document on your computer and then upload it to Google, or you can create it in Google. Either way, it's up to you. So I'm going to title this Critical Incident Report. Very important that you put your name in the title of the document so that I know whose it is, and then you're going to start writing. Okay. So you complete your report, and then once you're done, you're going to click on the Share button. And you'll see here it says Private, only people listed below can access. I'm going to ask you to change that. Click Anyone with the link. And this is really important. Make sure it says Can Comment. And what that means is that I will be able to see your document and add my comments to the document. They're going to click on Save. This window will pop up. We're going to copy this. So you can right click, click Copy, or as I normally do, Control C. Then you're done. And then the next step is to go into your Pepper section. So I'll go into the primary junior section just for the purpose of this demonstration. We'll go into Home, Section Content. You'll see there's a subconference called Critical Incident Report Submission Box. You're going to make a note. I'm going to call this a test submission. You can make it public or private. I mean, private is really so that I'm the only one that sees it, unless you want to have other people be able to see it. You're going to search for me. Am I even on here? I'm not even on here. I don't know. So I guess you could just make it private, and then I will see it. I should have tested that beforehand. And then you're just going to say, hi, here's my submission. And you put in the link. And then what I would also ask you to do is to hyperlink that. Hyperlink it. Give me an A. Thanks. Sure. Okay. And then once you've done that, obviously save and exit. Now, if you don't want to use Google Documents, at that point you would just attach it as a Word document. It's a little bit more work both on your end and on my end, so that's why I'm asking you to use Google Documents. But then once you've submitted, you've submitted. So that's pretty much it. All that I wanted to say in this announcement. Hopefully that was a lot more than 5 minutes. That was 11 minutes. If you have any questions, please feel free to post a note on Pepper, or you can message me at sean.lenny@utoronto.ca, and I will email you back as soon as I get the message. So that's about it. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you online.